Welcome to Unfiltered. I'm back from vacation, fired up and ready to go. What a great trip I had. I got to tell you, down to Pensacola, I made a little side trip off of my main trip, shot over into Huntsville, Alabama. Got this fine, tight haircut from a girl who used to live right here in Keene. It was great. Walked in, surprised the hell out of her on last Thursday, 2 weeks ago, Thursday morning. I got back last Monday night, so I didn't do the show last week. Hope you enjoyed the repeats. I showed you the repeat of my review of the 2016 Oceana Air Show, and the review of my trip up to Maine and the trips out on the schooners Appledore and Surprise. So I hope you enjoyed those. I caught the end of the episode that played last week, which was the one on the boats. And it brought back great memories just, from a few months ago. The trip to Pensacola was fantastic. I spent 2 days at the air show. I had an F-35 on the ground, had more guns around it than I've seen in a long time. You couldn't get anywhere even close to it, but you could take pictures. The Blue Angels flew, so I saw them fly. Saturday was kind of, had high overcast, actually for the Friday show. They did their show Friday and Saturday, because of course it was Veterans Day weekend. So I saw the Blue Angels fly both days. There was I believe it was a MiG-17 that was there. And again, these days it seems like there are a lot more civilian acts than military demonstrations. Which to me is sad, because I like to see the military planes. And if we weren't spending so much money bombing people over in foreign countries, we could have some great air shows like we used to have. And you can't go to an air show and walk away without a feeling of American pride. Yeah, this is who we are, a big warmongering country. But it's not. There's a difference between a warmongering country and a country that wants to protect humanity. Because basically that's what the United States is doing these days, is we've deemed ourselves the great protector of humanity. So no matter where in the world people are being oppressed, we'll go in and straighten stuff out. The world's police. I didn't say it was right, but the fact that we have a strong military is important in more than just the defense of our country. The military does other things. You can pick out career military people by the way that they walk, by the way that they carry themselves, by the way that they speak. Yeah. These Blue Angels, the Blue Angels team especially, because they're one of the areas of the military where the military precision is built into everything they do. When I was on the aircraft carrier, we pull the chocks on an airplane, and the chocks are the blocks that go on either side of the wheel to keep the plane from rolling. You pull those out and you just, walk away and go do your thing. The Blue Angels guys, they pull the chocks and they hustle over and they kneel down with the chocks, and everybody's the same. Then they're given the next order, they jump up and they run out and they carry all the chocks in a line over to where they're supposed to go. Everything is done with military precision in a drill-like fashion. And it's good for you. You know, there's a self-respect. There's a pride thing. All right. The nighttime air show, which I think I mentioned was happening, that I was, not really sure how it was going to be. It was tough to get pictures of, tough to capture. But watching it in person was fantastic. It was awesome. Mostly prop planes. The Blue Angels didn't fly. The MiG flew, only to demonstrate how cool that thing looked when it was going by with 15 feet of afterburner blowing out the back of it. Fantastic looking plane. The prop planes that they were using for the night demonstration, and I believe the jet-assisted glider also flew. They had like sparklers and stuff on the ends of the wings and on the tail, so that you could see them up in the sky, and it was very cool. I do want to mention, it surprised me, and with the number of air shows that I've gone and seen this gentleman perform before, I caught his introduction in Pensacola and realized that Rob Holland of Rob Holland Air Shows is from Nashua, New Hampshire. That's right, 50 miles away. Over in Nashua, Rob Holland, an aerobatic pilot. This is a guy that, and again, because, a lot of air shows, like I said, have more civilian type acts than they do military acts. It's the guys like Rob Holland. I can't remember the other guy's name that was there, but he had an airplane that had that color changing paint, the color shifting paint, that depending on which angle you looked at the airplane, the color was different. So as he flew through the air, it kind of changed colors and stuff. Very cool. But, man, these small aerobatic planes, like Rob Holland flies, he'll get that thing cruising along and then just throw it into a spin and a flip, and a puke ride is the only thing I could think of. How can he do that? Time and time and time again. Unbelievable. I do like 3 loops on a merry-go-round now, and I'm all like dizzy and stuff. Unbelievable. But a great air show. Like I said, I spent both days, Friday and Saturday there. I met a great couple, Danny and Alicia Phillips from Pensacola. They own a graphics business, and they drove the big raised up, pumped up Ford truck during the Star Spangled Banner at the opening of the show, because the outside of the truck is airbrushed in a tribute to 9/11. The inside of the cab, everything, the dash, the headliner, behind the seat, everything is airbrushed in a tribute to the USS Arizona and Pearl Harbor. Gorgeous, gorgeous truck. Sported the flags on the back, and during the Star Spangled Banner, he drove down the flight line. Great show. If you go on my Facebook page, I've posted albums of all this stuff. I'm not going to talk about politics. Sorry, election's over. Time to stop talking politics. Yes, I know. If I was one to gloat, I would spend the whole show gloating about the fact that, hey, finally somebody I voted for won. But, there's no time to gloat. There's no need to gloat. I notice that, there are protests all over the place. That should stop. You're not helping anything. You're not gaining anything from protesting. What I think needs to happen right now is we just have to, sit back and see what the president-elect can do. Give him a chance. Everybody thought Reagan would be a horrible president. There were, huge amounts of people that thought that Obama would be a horrible president. I still think that a lot of stuff he did was horrible. The fact is the election's over. Apparently, rigged or not rigged, fair or not fair, the vote's taken place, the winner's been announced. That's, you deal with it. So, give the guy a chance. At least give him that. Give him a chance. Let's wait and see. I mean, hell, impeachment can happen anytime, right? So give the guy a chance. If he oversteps, yes, hold him responsible. I'm sure he expects his voters to hold him responsible. Plain and simple. That's all I'm going to talk about, because I think that a lot of the actions post-election are just horrendous and uncalled for. Plain and simple. And it seems that the more the two sides try to talk, the worse it becomes. And I do fear that we are quickly heading to the next American Civil War. Mark my words. If we don't straighten up and learn to end this division, that's what we're going to have. We're going to have a civil war. It's not going to be North against South. It's going to be left against right. Plain and simple, red against blue. It's not worth it. Not worth it. All right, let's get that over, done with. Spent half the show talking about what I've done. A couple minutes talking about the politics of the day. But I'm not going to go into it because I've been a little busy to, keep the binoculars on Washington. We don't have time. We have to trust our government. We have to trust, unfortunately, we have to trust those in power who are also those with all the money. At least until we get our own money and can bump them off the throne. So this is Thanksgiving week. Short week at work for everybody. Well, except for you retail people. You'll be working even harder now. But Thursday is Thanksgiving. The day after tomorrow is Thanksgiving. So I figured I'd pull up some Thanksgiving facts. Just because, again, we're sick of politics, which seems to happen, quickly these days. I could listen to about 5 minutes or 10 minutes of politics and I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I don't need to listen anymore. I rarely go on Facebook anymore because I'm tired of, it's like mom and dad fighting while you're in the bedroom, just wishing you could run down for a popsicle. It's horrible. And it's no way to treat other human beings. All right, so let's say it was not until, let's talk about Thanksgiving. Because we all know about Thanksgiving, right? The first Thanksgiving, Pilgrims and the Indians See, we didn't just come to this country and start killing Indians. We came to this country, we befriended the Indians. 1642, I believe it was, when the Pilgrims came over. We became friends with the Indians. The Indians actually helped the white people. The Indians helped the Pilgrims. They taught them how to grow corn in the soil. You know, they showed them where to hunt. They showed them the hunting grounds. They helped. The Indians brought food from their stores to help us through the first winter. And we needed the help. You have to figure, the Pilgrims were here 130, 140 years before our government was formed. The Pilgrims didn't have a government. The Pilgrims' government was in England. So the Pilgrims basically governed themselves. Again, maybe we think about that kind of stuff. The Pilgrims governed themselves for 150 years and spread and grew until somebody decided, that we needed a Declaration of Independence from the king. We didn't want to be ruled from across the country. We wanted to make our own rules. But before that, the Pilgrims could basically do what they wanted. Because do you know how long it took? Even if somebody was going to rat the Pilgrims out to the king for doing something, it took months and months and months for word to get across the ocean to the king and back. All right. But the first known Thanksgiving feast or festival in North America was celebrated by Francisco Vasquez de Coronado and the people he called Tejas, Tejas, members of the Hassanai group of Caddo-speaking Native Americans. I probably blew the pronunciation of every single one of those words, but I don't care. It was not until 1941 that Congress declared Thanksgiving as a national holiday. It was declared to be the fourth Thursday in November. Yeah. 91% of Americans eat turkey on Thanksgiving Day. Traditional. Although, I have heard that there's a very strong possibility that they did not even have turkey at the first Thanksgiving. Somebody I was talking to said that they believed that the first Thanksgiving in Plymouth, they had lobster, which was known back then to be worthless. Fossil evidence shows that turkeys roamed the Americas 10 million years ago. Different types of stuffings, regional differences in the United States as to the stuffing traditionally served with turkey. Southerners, usually cornbread stuffing, while in other parts of the country, white bread is the base. One or several of the following may be added: oysters, apples, chestnuts, raisins, celery, and or other vegetables, sausage, or the turkey's giblets. Thomas Jefferson thought the concept of Thanksgiving was the most ridiculous idea he'd ever heard. Thomas Jefferson, founding father. He was so smart, but Thanksgiving was ridiculous. I don't know. Maybe he didn't get 2 days off from work. Every president since Lincoln proclaimed Thanksgiving Day, but in 39, 40, and 41, Franklin Roosevelt claimed Thanksgiving the third Thursday in November to lengthen the holiday shopping season. That's right. That gets right to the heart of the situation, doesn't it? Because these days, Thanksgiving isn't a day of thanks and reflection and remembrance of good times or great harvest or anything like that. Thanksgiving is basically the first shopping day of Christmas, of the Christmas season, you know? These days it's more like Halloween is the beginning of Christmas season. But Thanksgiving is basically the beginning of the Christmas season. It's 1 month until Christmas. So it's a huge, but years and years ago it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that when I was a kid. I can't remember if stores opened the day after Thanksgiving. But there was none of this going out shopping at midnight on Thanksgiving night because the stores weren't open. Thanksgiving was a family holiday, a time to gather people together. And again, the breakup of the American family doesn't help that at all. Because families drifted apart, now you get people that go nowhere for Thanksgiving. And just so you know, if you are in the Keene area, the Keene Eagles Club is having a Thanksgiving dinner on Thanksgiving Day. I believe it's 11:30 to 3, I think. If you want information, call the Eagles Club. It's a great dinner. It's free. They do accept donations, so if you'd like to donate, by all means donate. It's a great cause. And they will even deliver it to your house. It's a great thing. All right. On the west coast of the United States, Dungeness crab is a common alternative main dish instead of turkey, as crab season starts in early November. Benjamin Franklin wanted the national bird to be not the eagle, but the turkey. Yeah, just so you know. The first Thanksgiving was not a feast, but rather a time when Native Americans helped pilgrims by bringing them food and helping them build off the land. Are turkeys fast? Yeah, you bet they are. A spooked turkey can run at speeds of up to 20 miles an hour. They can also burst into flight, approaching speeds between 50 and 55 miles an hour in a matter of seconds. And what would Thanksgiving be without, that's right, the illustrious Del Monte or whoever made the damn TV commercial and invented the green bean casserole. It was, that's the green beans, the mushroom soup with the dried onion ring kind of things on the top. Yeah. It's incredibly popular. You want to know how popular? More than 40 million green bean casseroles are served on Thanksgiving. Yeah, that's a lot of green bean casseroles. Actually, my mom decided we're not doing green bean casserole this year. In the U.S., about 280 million turkeys are sold for Thanksgiving celebrations. There is no official reason or declaration for the use of turkey. They just happen to be the most plentiful meat available at the time of the first Thanksgiving in 1621, starting the tradition. 20% of cranberries are eaten on Thanksgiving. 50% of Americans put the stuffing inside the turkey. There's we could vote on turkey in, stuffing out, stuffing in, stuffing out. We're divided, we're a divided nation even when it comes to that. But according to this site here, 50% of Americans put the stuffing inside the turkey. In October of 1777, all 13 colonies celebrated Thanksgiving for the first time. However, it was a one-time affair commemorating a victory over the British at Saratoga. Turkeys were one of the first animals in the Americas to be domesticated. There you go. There are 3 places in the United States named after the holiday's traditional main course. There's Turkey, Texas, Turkey Creek, Louisiana, and Turkey, North Carolina. There are also 9 townships around the country named Turkey, with 3 of them being in Kansas. The wishbone of a turkey is used in a good luck ritual on Thanksgiving Day. It's not usually done on Thanksgiving Day, but you dry the wishbone out, and after a few weeks of drying, you break the wishbone, and whoever gets the longer end, their wish will come true. The Plymouth Pilgrims for the first Thanksgiving died with the Wampanoag Indians. The cranberry is a symbol and a modern diet staple of Thanksgiving. Originally called craneberry, it derived its name from its pink blossoms and drooping head, which reminded the pilgrims of a crane. Sarah Josepha Hale, a magazine editor, campaigned to make Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1827. The first Thanksgiving lasted for 3 days. That's something we don't do. I mean, that was... And the Native Americans wore deerskin and fur, and not blankets. Contrary to popular belief, Native Americans did not eat cranberries. They did, however, find them extremely useful for dyeing fabric and decorating pottery. Let's go this one. One of the most unbelievable Thanksgiving facts, the Guinness Book of Records states the greatest dressed weight recorded for a turkey is 86 pounds at the annual heaviest turkey competition held in London, England on December 12th, 1989. And that's my time. I want you all to have a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. If you watch on Facebook, share me. If you watch on YouTube, subscribe. Till next time, peace.